Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of RecTalk, UK's #1 recruitment podcast, probably by some metric, I'm assuming
Probably,
by now.
Yeah.
Our guest today is the CEO and founder of the Marketing Junction. 20 years of a recruitment marketing experience as a minimum, it goes some way. Mr. Robert Woodford.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank
Mr.
you for being
Robert
on.
Woodford.
Thank you.
Was it Richard?
Every day someone calls me Richard. Every day without fail.
We've been called a lot worse. I wouldn't worry.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Although it depends. Are they kind of being very, very clever with how they're trying to abbreviate it? So rather than the abbreviation for Richard is Dick, isn't it? So it's hi Richard.
Just look it up, mate. What's the short form for Richard in the UK? People are trying to tell you something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Pete, it could really be Dick Woody, right?
Yeah.
That's his alter ego. Dick Woody could be the alter ego, you know.
Yeah.
Set up
name.
I was thinking more like an arsehole on LinkedIn, but that means
you went straight there. So Dick, tell us. Rob, tell about the Marketing Junction then. So like, how did what was the inception of the idea, and what made you kind of go into 20 years worth of marketing knowledge?
Yeah, so when I set it up, I'd had 13 years experience working in-house for kind of some larger businesses.
In-house?
In-house, I know. Yuck, dirty. Owner-managed businesses, startups, AIM-listed. I'd kind of done it all, and it got to a stage where, to be honest, initially I was just fed up with the commute every day down to London. And I thought, well, look, I'm naturally risk-averse, so I went, I'll start something up and do consulting, and kind of started consulting with a few businesses just in their marketing. And gradually that evolved where people would be saying, actually, it's great what you're advising us, but we actually need somebody to deliver it. Can you do that? So it's kind of grown, and then I'd say probably the year before COVID, since 2019, it's kind of almost exploded, and awesome. We're a full service agency. Most of our business is people outsourcing their marketing to us, either all of it or some of it. But we also do ad hoc bits, and I still do some consultancy.
What would you put that growth down to then? Well, so what I mean by that is does the bulk of your work come from you having a team dedicated to pitching for work, or is it the referral side of things or is it just natural inbound inquiries?
Yeah, I mean, all of our business is referred in. I say all. I think there might be a couple of bits where somebody found us on LinkedIn, but we haven't got any outbound salesperson.
Excellent.
Never have done. I suppose undoubtedly throughout COVID, people looked at their cost base and they went, is it really a good idea to be spending 30,000 plus on costs on an in-house marketing person, or can I spend half of that by outsourcing? So there was an element that we benefited from that. But I think people over time and companies over time are generally becoming more attuned to the fact that they need to do marketing, but they don't want to invest kind of in bringing loads of people in-house. They want to kind of do it with people who know what they're doing. We've been very careful to be really niche. We only touch recruitment. We don't touch any other employer branding. So if you're a company that wants to employ, we don't touch that. We just touch recruitment businesses. That's all we do.
So why do you find that niche works for you then?
Because it's all I know. No.
Okay, next question.
I think it's because we understand recruitment. I think that I would long for the day where you go, sell me that, you've got to sell a bottle of Coca-Cola. Because that's great, right? You either want the bottle of Coca-Cola or you don't. Recruitment's got so many different elements in it. It's all down to the consultants at the end of the day. And it's understanding how a recruitment business works. And so understanding how to market that, I think people appreciate that you've got that kind of experience and And I can come and sit and talk to MDs and CEOs, and they know I know what I'm talking about, and that helps. Rather than going in and start talking about their customers and things like that,
Yeah, that's probably one of the frustrations that we've had, because we've looked at outsourcing marketing a few times, and every time you talk about it, the person that you're talking to, generally speaking, is always like, so tell me about the recruitment journey then as a candidate, or tell me about the recruitment journey as a client. Like, what sort of people do you need to be hitting? And actually, if you've got somebody who knows the target market, knows the target audience, knows the inner workings of a recruitment business.
I don't want to spend the first 3 months educating you on recruitment and then my business and then be like, okay, so can I have some ROI now?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
but do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Please, can I have that ROI?
Can I have some more customers now, please? Or can I get more Google reviews now, please? Or whatever. Yeah. So, okay, let's say a business our size, boutique, if you will, right, up to sort of 20 employees. They approach you.
I believe the technical term for an agency our size is tin pot agency.
Tin pot agency. Not, inbound inquiry comes through. Somebody's like, oh yeah, I'll use this guy. He's great. What are these guys asking you for? What are directors, business directors like us sitting down and going like, I want more clients. I want more visibility. What are they asking you for by and large?
Often, I'd say probably 3/4%, they don't actually know what they want. They go, I want marketing, because they think they should have marketing. So actually...
Right, so is it a case that they don't want to get left behind? So I can see my competitors are putting out content. I can see my competitors are putting out, TikTok videos and, blogs that are useful and blah, 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 and we're sat here doing nothing, so I need something.
Yeah, often it's a case of, we need somebody to come and do this, that, and the other, whereas actually we sit down and say, well, okay, let's scale that back. What actually are you looking to achieve? Do you want more candidates? Do you want more clients? And if you're looking at candidates and clients, where do you want them? How do you want them? What's the purpose of what you're doing? Are we just talking about branding, or are we talking about what kind of returns on investment are we needing? What do you need to see? Where are the recruiters struggling? Where are the opportunities for your business? Where can we kind of help on that?
Surely that's a difficult conversation though to have with a business owner who's basically got in touch because I want marketing. Do you know what I mean? Like that you're having to take them on a journey there, aren't you? So that must be quite time consuming.
The opposite effect to having where we're talking about agencies who've got no recruitment experience, you're talking to agencies who've got no marketing experience, right? Yeah. So your first kind of initial sessions and meetings are going to be very much about educating them on how marketing works.
Yeah, and I think actually, you speak to a lot of people in marketing who are in-house or whatever, and they often are a bit snidey towards CEOs and MDs, and it pisses me off a bit, because it actually pisses me off a lot, because actually, I don't know a single recruitment agency owner who wasn't in marketing.
Go on, Bobby, tell them how you feel.
Most of them have been salespeople, right?
Yeah.
Been consultants who have just happened to then start their own business. So they've never had to get involved. So actually, you're supporting that person, and I think part of our role as hand-holding sounds patronising, but guiding them through it and taking them slowly. And some people are ready for that and can go fast, and other people need a lot of guidance.
This is it. I think the biggest strength is especially within the recruitment world, right? Good recruitment consultants go on to set up agencies of their own, and then go self-employed or kind of limited company, whether it's lifestyle or scale that they want. They're not accountants. They don't know how to account. And how to effectively be more tax efficient and whatever. Yeah. They don't know, so they get an accountant in, right? Or they won't know in terms of their IT infrastructure what they need, or they're not IT specialists, so they will outsource their IT. So why not look at outsourcing the marketing? Because it's sort of you're not a marketing professional either, so to speak.
I think. Because you and I have kind of not opposing views, but we have sort of
we're very different views. Definitely.
We have contradictory views on marketing and stuff like that. And my take on it is, sometimes, honestly, and this is no reflection on you, but I have said to Nitin quite a few times that marketing can be such a scam, because what you're talking about is like, okay, I'm going to put this marketing campaign together for you, and if in 6 months' time you get no return on investment, but I've pumped in $1,000 a month to support that campaign. If I get nothing by the end of that, you can sit there and say, yeah, but the campaign hasn't necessarily hit the right sort of people yet, or we're still kind of waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, you put that down to A/B testing. Oh, well, we're still going through A/B testing. Exactly. I need another 6 months worth of £1,000 a month to do the other thing now, and then I can effectively show you what worked. Well, I already know what didn't work.
Yeah. Whereas if in that same 6 month period, I get an old client of mine who's moved from one business to another and said, Sean, do you know what? Actually, I need your support with X amount of vacancies, and our revenue goes up. From a marketing standpoint, you can say, okay, well, the marketing campaign started in January, and by July, year on year, you made an extra £10,000. However, that £10,000 wasn't attributed to the campaign; it was actually attributed to referrals of existing clients, or
natural
BD,
kind of
natural just revenue. Yeah. So there is an element for me of like I'm very kind of like I don't know if I completely back putting that amount of money into marketing. But that part of that is also me being a control freak and just kind of going down.
No, I think it's your sales background though, because in sales it's very much right. If I put if I get 10 salespeople in, I expect those 10 salespeople to perform at a certain level based on KPIs and results. Therefore, I have tangible results off the back of it. I brought in 10 salespeople, they both did 5 deals each, and therefore now I have an extra 50 deals on the table. That is tangible result. Whereas with marketing, it can often be, I've brought this marketing consultant in, I've spent, call it 10 grand on a campaign, and then, like, I know marketing professionals. I've done, I support with and have done set up the marketing recruitment division, right? I've spoken to a lot of these guys, and it's very easy sometimes to hide behind the metrics, right? In terms of, well, no, that 10,000 that gave us X number of impressions. I'm like, oh, okay, and a insert business owner here who doesn't understand the difference between an impression and a click will be like, oh, that sounds, oh, wow, 55,000 people impressed 55,000 people. That sounds good. And it's like, yeah, that's great. No, what that means is it was on their fucking feed for maybe 3 seconds. That doesn't mean they've seen or interacted with it at all. Or then it's like, oh, actually, no, the click ratio looks good, so let's tell them about the click ratio. Oh, we had 50,000 clicks. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Because I've still got nothing in the basket, nothing's been sold yet, you know. And then it's, oh yeah, but we've identified in doing this campaign, we've now identified at the end that there's a problem where people put things in the basket, and maybe it's our shipping costs that are off. Maybe that's what's putting them off. You know, and so yeah, that's where I think for a lot of smaller businesses, the marketing piece can be a bit of a kind of cloak and dagger, like, you know, it's all about smoke and mirrors and stuff.
Yeah, I think there's several things to unpick there. I think firstly, I think it's going in and being honest from the word go, that actually, you know, it's not going to be something you're seeing a return on tomorrow. I mean, if it was, great, because as you say, we wouldn't be sat here, we'd be sat in our yachts. But I think also it's giving people the confidence that this is a medium to longer term strategy. It's not something that's the short term. But I think one of the things where I think I've got a difference is my background is wasn't marketing. I didn't qualify as a marketing person. I did economics, right? So I
saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very analytically focused. I just fell into marketing. You know, at university we used to hate the marketers. So the way I approach things is very much on stats and kind of that those KPIs and the ROI, and I love all that stuff. And I think that's where I differ from a lot of other people that do that, because I approach it from very much the creativity point of view. That for me doesn't necessarily, you know, you can have a crap creative, but actually put it in the right place and you do a lot better than the great creative that nobody sees, right?
Yeah, and also maths doesn't lie, does it? Really, when you're looking at sort of hard data and you're analysing the facts and all that sort of stuff, it's so much easier to unpick that. Whereas the creativity piece is so subjective, isn't it? Like, if you look at, let's say, look at Aldi campaigns. Aldi do the whole Cuthbert the Caterpillar and whatever their version of it was, and like on the surface of it, everyone's like, "Oh, that's brilliant, really good marketing," and it is. It's good awareness to the brand, but how many Cuthbert the Caterpillars were sold off the back of that?
Yeah, but see, it's not that great awareness of the brand, though, is it? I don't think there was anybody sat there going, "Oh, I'm really into like caterpillar-shaped cakes." Oh, hang on a minute.
I was.
Who's this?
I actually have got an entire cocoon of caterpillars.
No one's going, no. Aldi, who are they? Oh, I really like caterpillar-shaped cakes, and I always get mine from Marks and Spencer's. And then I saw this one, I was like, oh,
no, I'm good.
Cuthbert, where are you from? Aldi, and they opened my eyes to a whole new world of this budget supermarket. That journey doesn't happen, does it? So
it's just marketing people sharing it on LinkedIn, going, "Oh, isn't this amazing?"
Yeah. And then what got me?
The impression of like,
what have I done? But what gets me is though that then they're like, "Oh, we've got a legal case, right? So we're now throwing money at this because someone in marketing decided we could do Cuthbert the Caterpillar, and somebody else has gone, oh, that sounds great, let's sign that off." And now they're sat there going, "Okay, so Marks and Spencer's have sent us a cease and desist, and that's going to cost us so many £1,000s to respond to through our legal team and blah blah blah." And the marketing team are just sort of like, "Yeah, well, you know, it's awareness, it's brand awareness." And I'll go back to my point. Nobody didn't know who Aldi was, and then went, Cuthbert the Caterpillar is what I'm into. I like caterpillar shaped cakes, and that opened my eyes to Aldi. That's not brand awareness. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
The opposite though is the Brewdog thing. Because remember when Aldi launched their version of Brewdog IPAs?
Yeah.
And then Brewdog saw it, and then they were like, "Well, we're going to launch an Aldi-based Brewdog."
And they ended up collabing in the end, didn't they?
And that actually generated revenue. So in that sense, that kind of wider marketing.
But that's social media marketing, right? There's been a big increase in this. I've noticed this certainly on like things like TikTok and Instagram and that kind of thing. There are social media kind of executives or whatever that are managing the pages of their corporation that they're working for. And the funnier they are, or the edgier that they go viral within sort of hours.
Yeah.
And like for me, that's a better use of, well, it's a very risky kind of strategy, but I think that's a better use of your budget to kind of be like, right, let me just get in a witty bit of an arsehole, 20-something old that can hit back at like Specsavers when they've cock up on something, or maybe work for Specsavers and be like, hey, should have come to us. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's a good strategy.
Make me viral. We hear that a lot. Can you
Make
just
me
make us
viral.
can you just make us go viral?
Yeah.
We'll just like,
I'll put this video together, make it go viral.
When would you like to go viral? For next week, next Tuesday, 3:00. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, but like, oh no, we've already got something in for that day.
Yeah,
You don't want that
go
one.
viral that day. Yeah. I do think it comes back to kind of what is marketing, and I think actually, is it those big campaigns and those things, or actually is it working with recruitment consultants to actually help them deliver what they need to have delivered? And sometimes it's that, and it's not these sexy, fantastic websites or lovely brochures and things like that. It's actually what are the campaigns we can do to support the consultant that sat on the Java desk in this IT company. Actually, what can we do to support him to kind of go out and generate more clients if that's what he needs?
What do you think of the Reed Love Mondays campaign? The knight in shining armour thing. I'm James Reed, and blah blah blah. What do you think of that? If you were like Randstad,
I don't want to answer this. Just in case James Reed in his Harvard suit comes
I'm going to put you on the spot. You're back at Randstad, so money is no object. You have a big marketing budget, and they've come to you and said, "Right, Reed are running this campaign, Love Mondays. They're on TV, they're on every like YouTube advert that's out there. Please, we need something to respond."
I think you need to start looking at is it working for them? What are they hoping to achieve from that? And I don't really know what they're hoping to achieve. I assume more candidates coming to read.co.uk, but is that what they're hoping to achieve? And is it working? But for me, I find it a bit patronising, a bit grating. It's kind of aimed at. I don't know who it's aimed at, and I think if that's and I think that's where you've got to.
I think you're right, because I think if you take the Go Compare guy, for example, that was I proactively choose not to go on Go Compare, and will choose any other provider than Go Compare, because the guy just pissed me off. He was so irritating, and then they cracked it with it was like, oh, we're going to bid him off, and it was like, oh no, let's bring him back now and just make a major resurgence and bring the guy back, and it's just. But would you say it's kind of safe to assume that marketing has evolved in the sense that you're now not kind of creating, you're not, I suppose, a return on investment based division. It's now more of an awareness based division.
No, I don't think. I mean, awareness is part of it.
You're talking to an economist.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, but that's fine.
If I went and saw any recruitment, so I tell you what, we're going to pivot away from return on investment. We're going to purely talk about awareness. They wouldn't like that.
Okay, so where then?
But a lot more of the campaigns seem to be about awareness, right? So like take that Reed campaign, the Love Mondays thing, and all of that kind of.
Yeah,
but
how do you measure that?
Well,
go on. Interested. How do you measure that?
Well, look, there are different, and there's going to be an element where you go, look, we just can't measure it, because it's certainly in recruitment, right? You can take it so far, but how do I know that candidate saw that advert and the things you can track? But there's very few businesses that are going to spend that much money to track that. So yes, whilst I don't like those kind of vanity metrics, which are kind of the hits and the kind of things. They are actually useful as an indicator. Are you moving in the right direction?
Yeah.
And okay, if you drill down on them a little bit more, if you've got 50,000 hits and it's all goat herders from Azerbaijan looking at your jobs, then you've got a problem, right? But if it's
unless you're selling goats,
unless that's your recruitment model.
That's your recruitment model. But if it's engineers and it's all engineers, then actually you're moving in the right direction. You might not be able to then follow that through, but you're moving.
Yeah.
We say the direction of travel is good. Then if you look at kind of your Google Analytics, what do you want people to do when they hit the website? Well, we want them to apply for a job, search jobs. We want them to do whatever actions it is, and then track those. Are people making those actions? And if they are, if you've got people applying for jobs, if you've got people kind of searching for jobs, if you're hitting all those numbers, then actually you know that eventually that will follow through and filter through.
So how does that then offset against? Okay, so you're doing that in the background, right?
Yeah.
And I've got now 3 consultants who are bashing the phones, who put out, and I'm kind of KPIing them on adverts going out, on volume of phone calls, so many actual conversations, live conversations with candidates, and all of a sudden I've got an influx now of candidates that I've registered, candidates who are applying for my job. But you've also put a very similar campaign out, so it's very then hard to, if my focus is I need to get more engineers in, how do I then differentiate what revenue you brought in and what revenue my consultants brought in?
Because it will always be marketing's revenue. No, it's not difficult.
Sold. Yeah.
I think you're assuming that they're working in silos, and I think that's where it falls down. Marketing should be part of the sales function. They should be working in partnership. So as you as the sales director or MD or you know, it should be working in tandem. Now there will of course be things that people are doing, but it's and there will be that element where you go, I just don't know if it's because that consultant has done that or it's the marketing, but actually it's come in and we're doing it, so something's working, so let's carry on. There's always going to be an element of that. But if you're working closely together, then actually one should be feeding, marketing should be feeding the other. We should be there supporting. So if the consultant's going out and saying, somebody's saying, well, can you send me some more information about that? And they're sending them something that's, looks good, it's been well crafted, is very specific from the marketing function, then that's working in tandem.
So in big corporates then, why are marketing kept away from sales so often? We've been big corporate, you've been big corporate. How many times, and because you headed up marketing divisions in big corporate businesses. How many times did any of your guys spend time with the guys on the ground selling, the foot soldiers?
Very little.
And why? They spent more time with HR. And let's be honest, they spend more time talking to HR around around the canteen or whatever. How is that How is that useful?
And that's where I suppose I always try.
HR are never useful, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll hang my hat on that.
Yeah. Fuck HR.
Yeah. Look, I used to try and encourage my guys to go out and work in branches. I think.
But did they?
They did sometimes. I think part of it is often you have younger and less experienced people in those functions, so they're actually
cheap labour, they call it.
Yeah. So they're more nervous.
Older, less experienced people are also available.
Yeah. So
usually working in HR.
I don't agree with that. I love HR. So there's sort of that element, but I think it's just culturally. I think actually the marketing function is there, and they have a specific job to do, and it is a function. You've got the IT function as a job, and it's not so coordinated. I think it's just size and scale.
I think if you also look at the kind of marketing as a division within a big corporate, isn't as kind of established as what, let's say, accountancy is or HR is, right?
Yeah.
So it's only now, I mean, in the time that we've been in recruit, so we started off recruiting in accountancy and finance, and we kind of saw that journey of accountants moving away from the ivory tower of, no, we sit in this office in a closed door, nobody talks to us, to now wanting to business partner and go out to the operational guys and understand kind of in the factory, what's happening in the factory, what's the actual manufacturing process, or what's the warehouse process, or what's the sales process. And you now have quite a lot of accountants who want to be commercially involved and want to get involved in that. So I guess it's just about kind of marketing going on that same journey now, isn't it, of really kind of get themselves in front of the operation.
Do you think there'll be marketing business partners then?
Is there not already?
Well, I think we are. I think in a larger business, I think it's difficult because if you've got 60, 70 offices, you go to Basingstoke one day and Scunthorpe the next, it's very different. They're very different challenges. So actually it's very difficult. You suddenly go, well, I need 2 different types of marketing campaigns. So I think that's probably where that
But in this day and age though, you can do that. Right? Those days have gone where you needed a national campaign where you filmed one piece of advertisement or you did one run of like leaflets or whatever.
If you love Mondays, mate, that's a national campaign.
But that failed. I would argue that hasn't done them any favours. That Love Mondays campaign.
Why?
Whereas in today's, but we're taking a piss out of it.
But
I'm
at
not.
the end.
He knows somebody at Reed. Stop it,
I
boys.
work there, haven't I? A few people still.
No, so no. What my point is now, it's very easy now to be able to go like, right, okay, here's the challenges in the north of England, here's the challenges in the northeast of England, here's the challenges in the Midlands, and so on, and change your campaigns, because TV advertising is on the decline, has been for like years now, and it's all about social and but you can target those areas with like personalised campaigns now. Like that technology is out there, right?
Yeah.
So that's not as much of a challenge anymore. Actually, the challenge is knowing what those challenges are in those regional locations and having that information fed into marketing for marketing to be able to do something about it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think, that helps with sitting, we sit, often you sit down with the MD and they'll tell you what the challenges are, and then you'll sit down with the team and they'll tell you what the challenges are, and they're not always what the MD thinks they are. And so actually, I think it is that marketing partnering with, and actually often what we see is, and coming back to the measurement thing, is we can support a recruitment consultant, and just by supporting them, it kind of elevates them and lifts them and gives them confidence, which then gives them the ability to go out and kind of overperform. And I think, often I say to people when they're really challenging me on ROI, I'll say, well, you tell me, what's the ROI of your telephone system? And I go, well, I haven't got a clue. I go, but you've got telephones, right? And they go, of course we have. We need telephones. Why do you know that? Well, I just know I need telephones. And that's kind of where, that's marketing to a point. You do need marketing.
That's the smoke and mirrors side of it, though, isn't it?
No, I disagree with that, if I'm honest, Robert. In that, I think... Okay,
the revenue's always marketing. You've heard this.
No, because look, there is. I mean, taking the telephone example for a second, and we got the high systems, right? So that we've got a tangible cost of this is how much it costs us, and what I've actually got is data that shows me how many phone calls my guys are making. I've also got the fact that my guys are bringing in revenue using those handsets and using those phone systems. Even if we look at the mobiles, right? If you look at the mobile phones that they've got, if I combine both of those,
providing them with a communication device, allowing them to call candidates.
If they didn't have that, then how would they make those phone calls, and how would they get hold of the client? So, if let's say but
the flip side to that is then but if you didn't have a website, how would these guys know that you exist? If you don't have a Google My Business page, how would you know? If you weren't on job boards, how would candidates apply for those jobs? Because technically, the job board access and that kind of thing is a marketing spend, isn't it? That falls under your marketing.
Generally speaking, it does. Yeah, most clients have job boards and everything.
Yeah, you would assume that. Yeah, because again, it falls under that kind of the 4 Ps of marketing.
So if I went to your guys and said, right, I'm taking away all your job boards and all your LinkedIn
and your shoes,
and your mouse,
carry
on, just make calls. Well, there would be some return because they're making calls and back. But at some point, somebody's going to go, hang on a minute, they're asking for a brochure. They're asking for more information. They're asking for kind of
a website to go and register on or so on.
Value-added collateral.
Okay, so are we saying then that marketing is a value add?
Is it essential, or is it an essential part of a business, or is it a value add?
Because I think if we're looking at
that, I guess that's what you're saying.
I think it's a bit of both. I think there's there's parts of it that are essential.
Yep.
And I think there's parts of it that are value add.
Because
you'd be a great politician, by the way. Very firmly, kind of like keep everybody happy.
On the fence,
you get with Tristan. Tristan's on the fence about everything.
Yeah, but he's more charming with it though. He'll like, I agree with you, but I also don't.
But I mean, for me, I'm very, very kind of old-fashioned in terms of my just the way I am, I suppose. For me, it's like sales, and then
my wife meets me at the door with a glass of water.
Doing a podcast.
Yeah,
that old-fashioned that you're doing a podcast.
I mean, it's no different than going on a radio show.
His sisters.
He has sisters. Yeah, I mean, look,
but you're not going on a radio show. You're doing a podcast.
Yeah, this is all smoke and mirrors. This is all to direct you to RecTalk and to Michael Sharma Group for all your recruitment needs.
And the Marketing Junction.
And the Marketing Junction
for some of your marketing needs.
For me, I would
leave some for the rest of us.
I would always end up challenging someone like yourself with kind of where the ROI is in any kind of campaign. So if I'm spending 500, 1,000, whatever on a marketing campaign, I think your challenge with me would always be trying to convince me kind of how that's added value. Where I'm seeing more value in terms of marketing personally is being able to call a client or a candidate and say, "Hey, it's Sean from Michael Sharma Group," and them not saying, "Who the fuck's that?" That's where I think we've seen a huge amount of value, and I think the awareness.
But we've had that though, haven't we? It's taken. It's funny though because
Didn't happen overnight, though, did
no,
it?
yeah,
Of course not. No,
exactly.
no.
Yeah, we're 6 years in. We've been doing digital and tech recruitment for 2 of those years, and we've got tempware as well. Yeah, everyone we speak to, everybody that we've spoke about the podcast, that kind of thing, they're all like, "Well, you're accountancy finance recruiters, aren't you?" And it's like we've still got a journey to go on through marketing to push the fact that we do more than that. You know?
Yeah, and this is my point though. So I think for me, the return that I've seen on any kind of marketing that we've done has been more awareness. And I think you're right in that attached to kind of the sales side and the consultants making those phone calls is being able to give them that credibility piece of you're not just some tin pot knobhead in above a pub making phone calls trying to do this like boiler room style, like, "Oh yeah, just give us your money." It's being able to kind of have that credibility piece and that legitimacy behind it. And I think marketing has done that for us. People look at us as a you guys are an established brand now, actually, so we know who you are.
We chose to be open and honest though as well, right? About it being just the 2 of us at the time and where we worked, or that sort of stuff. I really dislike the businesses out there that have like a London office and it's a PO box, or like we've got an office in London and we've got an office in Manchester and we support Liverpool and they're all PO boxes and actually they're sat in their bedroom somewhere. Yeah. And it's like that's fine if you can support recruitment that far. Then great, good for you, right? Because we're doing it now, right? Our tech desk, we've had roles up as far as Glasgow, down and Preston and so on, down to Plymouth. But we do that from Coventry, and we're very open about that. That's where I think for me, marketing becomes kind of that's the dark side of marketing, was where you can use tools that are out there and whatnot to be very cloak and dagger about who you are and really bullshit the size of your business and bullshit who you are as a company to try and win work.
Yeah, it's when they start talking about, we've got this global team and you got their
they've
website.
Got one person sat in like
two men and their dog.
Well, they've outsourced part of their function to like a CV outsourcing function in like India or whatever, and it's just like, okay, that's fine, but you're not quite an international then, are you?
But I think the marketing, I think that's where actually marketing, that's the fun bit about marketing when you go in is it's not one size fits all. Everybody needs something different, and some people need that kind of more immediate kind of sales support. Others need the brand building. Others need. So it is. If we came into your business, we wouldn't be prescribing the same to the next business we go to.
No, really, that's the whole point, isn't it? Yeah,
and that's where it's getting to know you.
Arguably, you could be pitching to the 2 of us in separate rooms if you're pitching different things.
Yeah, because we both have different visions on.
Yeah, because our philosophies on marketing are totally different, right? Yeah. And like I said, don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't see the value in it, because there's clear value now as evidenced everywhere. And marketing, I think, Tristan, pull it up. I think is marketing supposed to be like one of the most lucrative industries now, or something along those lines. I saw some stats the other day that says marketing roles are going to be the most lucrative in the next 5-10 years or something.
Don't tell my people that, they'll all be leaving.
Well, there's certainly been that kind of your the job titles that exist now, your children won't be doing and all that sort of stuff. Marketing has seen the biggest growth in that. There's been new roles and new work created. Case in point being BB, our content creator. So if you'd have said to us, while working at Michael Page, there's going to be a job in the future called content creator, I would have laughed you out the building. Like, who the fuck's going to pay for that? Apparently we will.
Yeah, it's crazy. I 20 years ago, I used to do on a Monday morning. My first job was looking through all the papers of all the regional to check that our lineage adverts going. Now, if I say to somebody who's under the age of 30, lineage advert, they'll look at me and I'll go, it was basically a tweet, but that appeared in the newspaper.
A tweet that stayed there a little bit longer.
And they're like, newspaper?
Yeah.
What's that?
Paper?
You had a paper with news on it? That's so odd.
Like toilet paper.
My dad's got them in the attic somewhere. Yeah,
it's true. And, job boards, the marketing department used to put all the jobs on the job board because... You only had like 100 slots a month, right? You
cherry pick the ones that
And now, so I think that's evolved as it's evolved massively, as has the role of a recruitment consultant involved in that time.
Yeah.
Well, what about things like automation then? Because you've got things like ChatGPT and all that sort of stuff. So, how do you think that's going to impact your business, your industry?
So at the moment, I mean, we're doing lots with our clients around automation and kind of and that type of thing. You know, I don't see it affecting us because you need somebody to come and implement things. You need people to make sure it works. I mean, I don't know if you use ChatGPT, but if you
create an entire storyboard starring Tristan,
you can put stuff in, and if you just take it out,
it needs fine tuning and stuff, doesn't it? And I think this is the key. You get a lot of people bitching and moaning about how crap like OpenAI is in general, but there is the gap in the market of. Okay, there needs to be people, consultants, marketing consultants, that kind of thing, that are like, let me teach you how to use it effectively. Because it's like anything. You can sit in a Tesla and be like, drive then. And they'll be like, this car's crap, it don't drive. Well, you don't know what you're doing, that's why. You don't know how to drive it, which is why you think it's a crap car. In the same exact way, you might think OpenAI is crap because you don't know how to use it. Yeah. You can't just sit there and be like, do me a blog on recruitment and then read it and go, no, it's crap. Yeah, OpenAI is crap. Like, the world's going to pot. You know what I mean? So I think for the gap in the market is going to be for a whole kind of host of people to start being like, no, we consult with you on how to, get your guys using OpenAI to write your job adverts and then fine tune those job adverts and then put some human element into it and then fine tune it for your business and then put it out. Not just tell it to do it and sit back.
It's like when social media came in. Everyone goes, "Oh, we don't want our people on social media because we don't want them spending all their time tweeting their lunch."
Yeah.
And actually, and some people are at the end of marketing with social media. Well, how wrong could they have been? It's it creates a whole new
marketing, isn't it?
Massively, But then LinkedIn's declined fucking horrendously, though, hasn't it?
Has it though?
Well, the quality.
The quality of content is shit.
If I'm but this is it, isn't it? The selfies and the pointless stuff and that kind of thing. It's like
but think about how much time we spend on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still. If I look at my clients' ROI, which I know you don't believe in, but
bullshit guys, don't listen to it.
Most,
which is their ROI that you're just signing on to be like, that's fine.
We just have somebody there who's clicking on. Just employ clicker. LinkedIn is still.
Johnny, they need more clicks. Yeah. I'm on it, boss. I'm on it.
LinkedIn is still undoubtedly one of the biggest. I think it's just. I don't know whether I'm just getting old and cantankerous, but I just find that incessant churning of kind of me personal branding just a little bit grating.
You love personal branding, don't you?
I can't fucking stand it. The whole concept behind it, right? We all did personal branding, and we've been doing it for years, whether you're in sales or marketing. We did it for years. We just didn't have a name for it. And we damn sure didn't stand there and be like, I'm on a journey to build my personal brand. Shut the fuck up. Just do your job. That's what you're on a journey to do, is to do your job. That's like me putting out and going like, I'm on a journey to retire at 45. Like, no one gives a fuck about that. Nobody cares about your journey, about your personal brand.
I don't disagree with
it annoys me.
Tell us how you really feel it.
And there's people making a lot of money out of that. There's agencies making a lot of money. We'll manage your personal brand. How the fuck does that work? And I know
your brand, but let me manage it.
There's famous people out there who tweet. There's one I won't name for obviously libel reason, but there's one.
I don't think they'll see it.
Everyone will.
Marketing guru here, mate. He's going to put this out there.
And you look at it and why is he putting that shit out? It's actually honestly. He's got a branding agency that do it, and you got somebody who hasn't got a clue what they're talking on your behalf. You just makes you sound
you can sometimes you can tell that as well, can't you? Scrolling through some people's Instagram and stuff like that, and you're just sort of like fucking hell.
But then I suppose suppose we didn't have like internal marketing people within our business. So let's say we were saying
to outsource to us.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and this is what I'm talking about. So how much?
How much can we say?
How much ROI would I get with it? No, but if I'm saying to you, right, okay, Rob, take control of my social media, take control of my PPC campaigns, SEOs, all that sort of stuff. When you say, is that not you taking control of my personal brand or my business's brand?
Yeah, but you're not just going to let us run with it. We would never just go. We're always wary when people go, "We'll see you in 6 months." Off you go, because that's not going to work. It's not fulfilling for us. It's not fulfilling for the people that work at the Marketing Junction. But it also means we're not going to get results. and we're going to go off on a tangent. So
Your personal brand is now you're
Yeah.
a clown
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, a clown.
But also, if you're building a personal brand, and there is, a joking aside, that you do need to do some of that branding, but, not to the point where you're crying over your dinner in chai latte or whatever.
Other lattes are available.
You've got to put the effort. You've got to put the effort in yourself, and you've got to. So actually, it's supporting you and working with you, and partnering. Going back to that kind of
business partner thing.
Yeah,
Marketing business partner. I'm telling you, that is a new job title. Look out!
I'm going to go out and change that now on my marketing business partner.
Yeah, that's it.
But all joking aside, I think that's probably the way it. Because look, we didn't really understand accountancy and finance. Going back a few years now, I was working for Phones for You years and years ago. Was it Phones for You?
Well, it didn't exist. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. I didn't. No, it was either Phones for You or Nationwide. One of the two. I can't remember where it was. Right?
Very similar.
Yeah, both retail.
Both retail sales. They are very similar.
Yeah, but it's retail sales, which is kind of how we transition from one to the other. But
why has he got Ali's Phones for You up on the screen? Who the fuck's Ali? Why is this guy Ali's Phones for You?
Oh yeah, no,
that
do you know what?
Smashing it.
Because he's in. There's one in Birmingham as well, and he's fully just robbed the logo of the lot. He's just fully just.
That's brilliant. There you go.
I used
Look at that for a marketing consultant.
Yeah.
But no, so I
need Ali.
We used to, and I remember this. This accountant, it was a finance analyst. It was nationwide. Finance analyst came to the branch, and they were talking us through the cost of selling a customer a credit card, but they're not using it. And they were like, "Look, this is how much." So, what's on your sort of fictitious GP figures? It looks like you're making X amount of money because you're selling so many great credit cards. Actually, it's costing us a fuck ton of money because we're having to print the credit cards. We've got data that we've got to look after. We've got all these different costs associated with it, and therefore, you really got to just be selling stuff that our customers are going to use rather than just selling it on because you can. And it wasn't until that's at the point where the penny dropped for me. I was like, fucking hell, okay. So it wasn't until accountants started bringing
but that sort of shit stayed with us as salespeople, because I've got examples of that as well within the mobile phone world, where again finance came out, explained to us the importance of X, Y, and Z, to the point where, do you remember when we were in Maplin that time? And Maplin used to do price match, and we went in to buy I think it was like an external hard drive or whatever. And the idiot, he comes over and answers a few questions, like, yeah, fine. And he's putting it in, and we're there, we're like, well, we've picked the one we want, we're willing to pay the £325 that you're charging for it, let's go. And he starts going, oh, I'm just, we do price matching, and it looks like Currys can do it for a lot cheaper, so it's £125. And we were like, we just saved £200 because this guy decided to take it upon himself to do that. Fine. And we walked out, we literally went, these guys are going to be out of business soon. Yeah. Like, somebody needs to tell them, just because you price match doesn't mean you price match. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what is going on? And then, sure enough, it was literally about like 6 or 8 months later, we were sat on holiday and working, and it comes up, Maplin's gone into administration. We're like, well, of course they have. But you know, they fucking got staff giving away their GP. Like, any profit they're making, they're just giving it away.
But the issue is, though, there's a disparity and contradiction between the KPIs that the retail staff have got, which is customer service led. NPS is make sure your customer satisfaction scores are great. And our customer satisfaction score for him would have been great because, well, the fucking idiot saved us £200. Knew what he's talking about. Yeah, fine.
But it would have been great. It would have been great anyway, though, because he came over, he answered the questions in an effective manner, and blah blah blah. He didn't.
Would you have 5-starred him before the price match?
No, I would have ignored the text.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But would you have 5-starred him, seeing as though he saved you £200?
Yeah.
And this is my point, right? So
I'm a slut.
because he had customer service metrics and he was performing to them, the metrics for the marketing team or the metrics for the sales team and the accountancies and all that, they're all different. And this is where the issue is if they all were working towards the same thing, then you're in a position where you can say, okay, yes, we do price match, but actually we only price match against X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Or don't market it, don't advertise it. If you're losing a sale, then do it.
So there you go. I think we've put a firm business case together for the creation of a job title called Marketing Business Partner. Get your fucking marketing guys out in the field, talking to sales, talking to the people on the front line.
Explaining it to old-fashioned guys like me.
Yeah, explain. Yeah, educate. Get out there and educate. There you go. Yeah. Well, I think that should wrap us up for the day. it's been a pleasure having you on.
No, I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it's
We'd
been
love to have you on
great
again. We want to kind of get guests coming back in on like a semi-regular basis. So we'd love to have you back on again. We are building up towards kind of a handful of what I'm coining megasodes, where we want to get sort of people from different parts.
It's
so
not
actually,
taking enough. People aren't wanting to it.
megasode.
It's not how it is.
Yeah, he needs.
John fucking going right. Yeah. You wrap this up.
He needs somebody in the marketing department just to try and help him with that.
No ROI on that though. So I'm not-
But what you want to get like a handful of guests in, sort of 4 of different parts of a business, and just sort of give differing perspectives.
Yeah, like
on
an
it.
accountant versus a marketing person.
Yeah. That's it.
That happens on a regular basis.
We'd love to see that live. HR, no, HR are not welcome in this building. There's a sign out the front that says no HR.
Yeah.
Oh, get the fuck out.
But yeah, no. So what we're trying to do is just get to create basically a bit of a debate, actually, where you kind of have opposing views, and it's like, yeah, great. Look, let's just hash it out. Let's see what happens, and let's see who comes out on top. And then what we do is we've got some pool cues over there, and we'll just start getting you
Snap it in our chuck it in the middle, and only one survives.
Tryouts.
Yeah.
So but appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. And so if anybody is looking for outsourced marketing and wants a specialist, then
You can't guarantee your ROI, though.
yeah. Well, no. What his thing is, your ROI is his ROI.
Yeah.
Already, before you even engage.
Yeah, the O stands for the stands for hour.
Yeah.
Return our investment.
Yeah.
But reach out to Rob Woodford at the Marketing Junction. And thank you very much. Well, very much.
Yeah.
Very guys much.
Have you had enough coffee today? Or
No,
have you had too much
I haven't.
coffee?
No, I've had water. I need to piss really bad. Right, let's just wrap it up. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you again.
Fantastic.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
No, thank you.
That was really good. That was good, yeah.
Painless, wasn't it?
Yeah, feel comfortable with that?
Yeah, no, I did. It was